Brother Cornel West is on Tavis Smiley's program, and you know that he has not been kind to the president recently, and he's got a bone to pick with the president. Now, this is on the issue of drone strikes. He's certainly right on the facts. Whether he's right on the rhetoric is a good and open question. Let's listen.
Dropping bombs on innocent people. Has been over 200 children so far. These are war crimes. I think we have to be very honest. Let us not be deceived. Nixon, Bush, Obama, they're war criminals. They have killed innocent people in the name of the struggle for freedom, but they're suspending the law, and very much like Wall Street criminals, the law is suspended for them, but the law applies for the rest of us.
War criminal. Now, here's the thing, Ben. I've never called Obama a war criminal, and I guess I've thought about it tangentially. I haven't put a lot of thought into it. I think that I haven't said it just because it sounds so harsh. Now, at the same time, it is a clear violation of the laws of war, especially, for example, on the drone strikes where we do the double taps and we kill first responders. Clearly a war crime. It's not disputable, right? Now, at the same time, I didn't often call Bush a war criminal. You remember when they were, Code Pink went in there and were yelling at Rumsfeld, war criminal, war criminal. And I think that I have to be honest. I think I'm checking myself because I'm not sure the public's ready to hear it that way. And plus, I might be a war criminal if I was president. And here's what I mean by that. If I have Zawahiri, who's now the top guy in Al-Qaeda, and I can drop a drone strike on him, and I'm sure no civilian's going to get killed, but it would be a violation of some other country's sovereignty, and might that be technically, well, it's a violation of international law. I don't know if that rises to the level of a war crime, right? But I would probably do it. So that's another reservation I have. But again, on the facts, it seems hard to dispute what he's saying.
Well, I mean, it depends on your interpretation of the facts, you know, and because, of course, I mean, under Cornel West's interpretation of the facts, the United States was a massive war criminal in World War II, not just with the dropping of the atomic bombs, but in the firebombing of Tokyo and the carpet bombing of Germany and Dresden. I mean, we killed civilians recklessly.
That is 100% true, and hence part of the reason why we're all uncomfortable with it, and why we don't use those words, because if you look back, I mean, obviously the nukes, but Dresden, my God, and oh, the Nazis had it coming, except the civilians weren't Nazis, and we killed hundreds of thousands of civilians when you put it all together.
Children. We killed children. We killed Japanese children on a nightly basis prior to dropping 2 atomic weapons on Japan. Mm-hmm. I mean, we did it all the time. They incinerated themselves. Frequently, people jumped into water fountains, which are many in Japan, and they would jump into the water fountains to cool down. But the heat from the fire, they jumped into boiling water and they burned to death. Children, you know. So, and we knew that was happening because we know how that works. That's
and
the
by
idea.
The way, FDR, who we think is a great progressive hero, also did it. I mean, Truman dropped the nukes, but FDR did the fire bombings along with every other ally. So
the bombs would literally explode just above the ground and come down as fire and ignite whole neighborhoods. The idea was to overwhelm the Japanese into surrendering. Right.
Now, so the flip side to that is he's trying to shake people out of their complacency and get them to see the harshness of the drone program. And again, on the numbers, you know, he said about 200. And I've seen as high as 200, but the number that I trust the most, it comes from the Bureau of Investigative Journalism. This is the most conservative number because these are all documented, is 176 children killed. And civilians killed are anywhere between 2,562 to 3,325. So about 3,000 civilians, again, very conservative numbers, all documented, and about 176 children.
Just by drones.
Yeah. So now you might not, if you ask American people, as we have in poll after poll, they don't realize we're killing civilians. Like, if you, and there's a poll out, are you in favor of killing civilians with drone strikes? No, the popularity of drone strikes plummets. If you say we're killing civilians, they say, oh, no, it's like about 23% that's in favor of it. So you lose over 3/4 of the country. 29%. So Brother Cornel West, by pointing out, hey, we're doing war crimes and we're killing civilian children, well, I think he's doing some degree of service to the debate and the conversation, while he might be doing a disservice to President Obama, because you could make an argument, as you're saying, that almost all the presidents were war criminals in a sense.